Okay, so version 5.6 is almost here, and even though HoYoverse hasn't officially confirmed the full patch details yet, we already know a surprising amount. And yeah, some of it is looking really exciting. Let's start with the banners because, let's be honest, that's what most people are planning their Primo Gems around. According to HomDGCat, who has consistently been one of the most accurate leakers out there, like we're talking over 10 patches in a row, version 5.6 will feature Escoffier, Kinich, Raiden Shogun, and Navia as the 5-star characters. And yeah, it's not just the 5 stars, he's also predicted the 4-star lineup too: Ifa, Layla, Sarah, Toma, and Lynette, plus one more mystery character that hasn't been revealed yet. At this point, even though it's not officially confirmed, this lineup is solid enough that you can start preparing your wishes based on it. I'd say unless HoYo suddenly throws us a curveball at the last minute, this is almost certainly what we're getting. And this isn't just based on one source. Other leakers have backed up the same info. So if you've got your eyes on someone like Raiden for her rerun, or maybe you're curious about Escoffier's debut, you're good to start planning. Now, the only thing we don't have yet is the phase split. We know who's coming, but we don't know who's coming when. That's been a bit of a trend lately. We used to get phase info early, but recently it's been more common to get just the lineup, and then the phases show up later from the devs. That's exactly where we are with 5.6. So what do? We guess. And here's my prediction. Just a guess, no leaks here. I think Escoffier and Kinich will show up in the first half, and Raiden Shogun and Navia will be in the second. There's a pretty good reason for that. Usually, HoYo puts brand new characters in the first phase to build early hype and drive strong day one pulls. But there's also a pattern angle. Back in version 5.0, we had a similar lineup structure, and Raiden and Kinich were already part of that setup. It'd be weird to repeat that exact same grouping again. Plus, Escoffier and Kinich both have ties to Natlan, so putting them together at the front of the patch gives it a stronger thematic identity right away. Meanwhile, Raiden Shogun and Navia, both reruns, would balance the second phase nicely, so unless something major shifts, that's the setup I'm expecting. Alright, now let's talk about the new characters. Let's start with Escoffier. Now that her full kit has leaked, her role in a team is much clearer. She's a 5-star cryo polearm user who isn't built for damage, but instead shines as a pure support unit. And not just any support. Escoffier is incredibly specialized for teams that revolve around cryo and hydro elements. In fact, she feels like she was designed specifically to support characters like Skirk, who scale with those same elements. The core of her kit is all about resistance penetration. When she uses her elemental skill or burst, she applies a debuff that reduces both cryo and hydro resistance on enemies. What makes it interesting is that the amount she reduces scales based on how many cryo or hydro characters you bring, so in a team fully built around those two elements, she can shred up to 55% of both cryo and hydro resistance for 12 seconds. That's huge, and it makes her especially powerful in freeze comps or in any setup where you want to maximize the elemental output of someone like Skirk. Her playstyle rewards synergy. The more aligned your team is with her elements, the better she performs. She's not there to steal the spotlight, but to quietly boost your main damage dealer's potential. It's similar to how Kazuha supports elemental damage through Swirl, except Escoffier amplifies cryo and hydro teams by buffing cryo and hydro damage directly. If you enjoy reaction-focused teams and setting up big plays for your carries, she might be a perfect fit. Now, Ifa brings something completely different. He's a 4-star Animo Catalyst user with a playstyle that feels fresh and playful. His skill lets him hover midair in a state called Night Soul's Blessing, where he fires projectiles that heal teammates and deal damage at the same time. It's active, mobile, and far from the usual heal and swap style we're used to. Ifa actually wants to stay on the field, moving and healing as part of the action. His burst adds a crowd control aspect. It pulls enemies together, deals anemo damage, and applies a calming effect if they're infused with other elements. So while he's not a full anemo grouper like Venti or Sucrose, he still helps with reactions and positioning, all while supporting your team's health. He's a fun hybrid, part healer, part anemo enabler, and easy to slot into teams that need healing without disrupting elemental setups. So while Escoffier quietly empowers cryo and hydro teams with massive debuffs, Ifa keeps things light, mobile, and interactive. They couldn't be more different, but both feel like valuable additions to 5.6. While we're here, let's go over the story updates, because 5.6 isn't just banners and new characters. We're also getting a brand new Archon Quest, and surprisingly, it takes place in Mondstadt. Yeah, not Natlan, not Fontaine, Mondstadt. This will be Act 4 of the Archon Quest for that region, and it's not a throwaway side story either. It's a full continuation of the main narrative. The focus will be on Durin. Yes, that Durin. And we'll actually see characters like Mini Durin, Jean, Alice, Albedo, and even Barbaloth show up. Alice and Barbaloth will appear in Dodoko form, which is already iconic. And this quest will also introduce a new weekly boss, not through a story quest, but right in the middle of the Archon Quest itself. There'll be 2 cutscenes, one regular and one for the boss fight. Also worth mentioning, Dahlia will appear as an NPC in this patch, and it looks like he's being set up to become playable in version 5.7 or 5.8. He's a sword user, and his debut in 5.6 is likely meant to tease his future appearance. Moving on to events, there's going to be a big one. The main event of version 5.6 is all about managing a Fontaine theme park. Yep, we're getting to run our own amusement park, which is such a fun change of pace. The event will also reward us with a free 4-star bow, though we don't have the stats yet. And if you're into the Imaginarium Theater, good news, it's getting new mechanics too. There's a new reaction being added. Cryo and Dendro together create thorns, which cap it too. And if you add Electro to that, you get Super Thorns. On top of that, we're getting new poses for characters like Dilush, Diona, Faruzan, and Keiching, and new star rewards that give you resin, artifact essences, and elixirs for reaching high scores. So yeah, 5.6 is shaping up to be a loaded patch. 2 new characters, strong reruns, a fresh weekly boss, a main story in Mondstadt, new Imaginarium features, and a theme park event. Whether you're here for the lore, the pulls, or just the fun side content, there's something to look forward to. What do you guys think about the Escoffier resistance shred mechanic? Do you see her fitting into your team, or is she too niche? And who are you pulling for in 5.6? Raiden again? Or are you saving for someone in 5.7 or beyond? Let me know in the comments. Save up to 23% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description.